Fans of Swamp People have always known Willie Edwards as the calm, fearless hunter who lets his actions speak louder than words. Whether he was wrestling massive alligators or navigating the unpredictable waters of Louisiana's swamps, Willie carried himself with quiet confidence, never chasing the spotlight, never seeking drama, just doing what needed to be done. To millions of viewers, he became a symbol of strength and tradition, a man shaped by the bayou and bound to the family legacy that defined his life. But behind that steady presence was a journey filled with heartbreak, personal loss, and moments that tested his resilience far beyond anything the swamp could throw at him. Away from television cameras, Willie built a life centered around his wife, Sherry Edwards, and their children. Their relationship was never about fame or attention. It was built on years of shared struggles, long days of hard work, and a commitment to family values that ran deep in Louisiana culture. Together, they raised their kids with a strong sense of respect for tradition and the outdoors, passing down lessons learned through generations of hunters who survived by understanding the land around them. Fans often saw Willie's sons appearing alongside him on Swamp People, learning the ropes and slowly becoming part of the family's hunting legacy. Those moments showed a softer side of Willie, a father proud to pass on knowledge, determined to prepare his children for the future while staying connected to the past. Yet even during those joyful scenes, there were pieces of Willie's personal life that remained hidden from public view. While viewers grew familiar with the Edwards family through television, there were aspects of their story that stayed private, moments of deep pain that the family chose not to share openly. Among those quiet chapters was the memory of a daughter whose presence was rarely discussed publicly. Details about her life and passing have remained largely unknown, and the family has consistently chosen to keep that part of their history personal. For many fans, discovering that Willie had experienced such a profound loss came as a shock. It was a reminder that behind every reality television personality is a real human being, carrying emotions that cameras may never capture. The Edwards family's decision to remain silent about certain personal tragedies reflects something deeply human: the need to protect memories and grieve without the pressure of public attention. Some viewers wondered why so little was ever mentioned on the show, but others understood that grief does not always belong in front of an audience. The absence of public explanations did not lessen the emotional weight of the loss. Instead, it highlighted the quiet strength that Willie and Sherry carried with them every day. Their resilience was visible, not through dramatic speeches or interviews, but through the way they continued living, working, and supporting each other despite everything they had endured. For Willie, strength was never about appearing invincible. It was about continuing to move forward, teaching his sons, supporting his wife, and honoring the memories of those who were no longer there. On screen, he remained calm and focused, facing danger with the same steady determination fans had come to admire. But beneath that composure was a father and husband who had faced unimaginable sorrow. The way he carried himself spoke volumes, revealing a depth of character shaped not just by survival in the swamp, but by the emotional storms he had weathered at home. Sherry Edwards also played a powerful role in holding the family together through difficult times. While she occasionally shared glimpses of their lives on social media, family gatherings, celebrations, and everyday moments, there were noticeable silences that spoke louder than words. Those silences were not signs of forgetting. They were acts of respect, reminders that some memories are too sacred to place under public scrutiny. Through her posts and interactions with fans, she demonstrated a quiet dignity that reflected the strength of a family determined to protect its most personal experiences. As the seasons of Swamp People continued, viewers saw Willie remain a reliable presence, a man grounded in tradition and dedicated to his craft. He didn't rely on dramatic moments to stand out. Instead, he earned admiration through consistency and humility. Every hunt, every lesson passed down to his sons, and every calm decision in dangerous situations reinforced the image of a man shaped by resilience. Yet for those who looked closely, there was always a sense that his quiet nature came from something deeper, a lifetime of experiences that had taught him both the fragility and strength of family bonds. The Louisiana swamp itself often felt like a reflection of Willie's story. It was beautiful yet dangerous, peaceful yet unpredictable, full of hidden depths that few outsiders truly understood. Just as the swamp held secrets beneath its surface, Willie carried memories that shaped the way he lived his life. Each sunrise over the water, each moment of silence between hunts, likely carried echoes of the past, reminders of both the joy and the sorrow that defined his journey. Despite everything, Willie continued to show up, not just for the cameras, but for his family and his community. He remained committed to the traditions he had learned from his father, passing them on to the next generation with patience and pride. Fans admired him not only for his hunting skills, but for his unwavering dedication to those he loved. And while the public saw only pieces of his life, it became clear that his greatest strength came from his ability to endure, to carry grief quietly while still choosing to live fully and honor the legacy of his family. But the challenges Willie faced did not end with private family losses. Another devastating tragedy would soon strike even closer to home, one that would shake the Edwards family to its core and leave a lasting mark on Willie's life forever. The next chapter of Willie Edwards' life brought a loss that would shake him in a completely different way. The sudden passing of someone who had stood beside him since childhood. Growing up in the swamps of Louisiana, Willie and his brother shared more than just a last name. They were partners in everything, learning the traditions of their family, working hard from a young age, and building a bond forged through years of shared experiences on the water. Together they learned how to read the swamp, how to survive in harsh conditions, and how to trust each other without hesitation. Their connection wasn't just brotherhood. It was a partnership built on loyalty, respect, and a lifetime of memories. For Willie, having his brother by his side meant never facing the swamp alone. They understood each other without words, moving with a rhythm that came from growing up in the same environment and learning the same lessons from their father. Fans who followed the Edwards family knew how deeply rooted their traditions were, and how much those traditions depended on family unity. Losing that kind of connection is not just the loss of a loved one. It is the loss of a shared history, a shared future, and a piece of one's own identity. Tragically, Willie's brother's life ended in a devastating accident that left the entire family in shock. The news spread quickly through their community, leaving friends and fans struggling to process the sudden loss. For someone who had been such a strong presence behind the scenes, the absence was impossible to ignore. The family released a brief, emotional message acknowledging the tragedy, words that carried immense pain without needing to go into detail. Support poured in from across the country, as viewers who had followed the Edwards family for years offered condolences and prayers during one of the darkest times in their lives. For Willie, the loss meant more than just saying goodbye to a sibling. It meant stepping into the swamp without the person who had always been there beside him. Every hunt, every familiar stretch of water, every memory of their shared childhood became a reminder of what had been lost. The silence that follows such a tragedy is heavy. Not just the absence of a voice, but the absence of shared laughter, inside jokes, and the quiet comfort of someone who understands you completely. Yet, even through overwhelming grief, Willie continued to carry himself with the same calm determination that fans had come to admire. He didn't speak publicly in detail about how the loss affected him, choosing instead to process his emotions privately. But those who watched closely could see the weight in his eyes, a quiet heaviness that revealed just how deeply the tragedy had touched him. Strength for Willie was not about pretending everything was fine. It was about continuing to show up for his family, honoring the memory of his brother through the traditions they once shared. As time passed, fans rallied around the Edwards family, sharing stories of their own losses and offering words of encouragement. The connection between viewers and the family grew stronger during this period, built not on entertainment, but on empathy and shared humanity. People saw beyond the television persona and recognized the real person behind it, someone facing grief just like countless others around the world. Messages of support reminded Willie and his loved ones that they were not alone, even during their most difficult moments. However, public life brought another challenge, the spread of rumors that began circulating online. At one point, speculation about Willie's health started gaining attention, with some fans expressing concern that he might be facing a serious illness. The rumors created confusion and anxiety among viewers who cared deeply about him. Social media discussions quickly turned into widespread worry, showing how easily misinformation can spread when public figures live their lives under constant scrutiny. In response, messages from Willie's family focused on compassion and understanding rather than confrontation. Without directly addressing every rumor, they shared words that emphasized the emotional toll such speculation can have on real people and their loved ones. Their statements reminded followers that behind every television personality is a family dealing with real challenges. Challenges that deserve privacy and respect. Over time, it became clear that many of the rumors had no confirmed basis, and Willie continued to live his life and pursue his passion for hunting. The experience served as a powerful reminder of how difficult it can be to maintain privacy in the age of social media. For Willie and Sherry, it reinforced the importance of protecting their family from unnecessary stress and focusing on what truly mattered: healing, supporting one another, and moving forward with strength. While fans often feel connected to the people they watch on television, moments like these highlight the responsibility that comes with that connection, to offer kindness rather than speculation. Through all the challenges, the grief of losing his brother, the weight of personal struggles, and the pressures of public attention, Willie remained grounded in the traditions that had shaped him since childhood. The swamp continued to be both a place of work and a place of reflection, offering a sense of continuity even during times of change. Each season that passed became a testament to resilience, proof that even after experiencing profound loss, life could still move forward. But to truly understand where Willie's strength came from, it's important to look deeper into his roots, the upbringing that prepared him for both the triumphs and the tragedies he would face later in life. Because long before television fame and personal heartbreak, there was a young boy growing up in Bayou Sorrel, learning lessons that would shape him into the man fans would eventually come to know and admire. Willie Edwards' story begins long before the cameras ever rolled. Born on June 20th, 1982, in the heart of Bayou Sorrel, Louisiana, he grew up surrounded by the dense, mysterious beauty of the swamp. The wetlands were more than just a landscape. They were a classroom, a playground, and a proving ground all at once. His parents, Junior and Teresa Edwards, were not just his guardians, but his first teachers, passing down knowledge accumulated over generations of alligator hunters. From a very young age, Willie learned to respect the land, understand the creatures within it, and move with patience and precision, lessons that would stay with him throughout his life. Willie's childhood was steeped in the traditions of the swamp. He watched his father hunt with skill and strategy, studying every movement, every decision, every technique that had been honed through years of experience. Treble hooking, reading the water, knowing when to wait and when to act. These weren't just skills, they were lifelines. Willie didn't simply learn these methods, he absorbed them, internalized them, and mastered them. By the time he was a teenager, he was already navigating the muddy waters with confidence, showing a level of skill that many adults would envy. These formative years gave him more than technical ability. They gave him resilience, patience, and a quiet toughness that would define his character both on and off the screen. In 2010, the History Channel debuted Swamp People, offering a window into the dangerous, grueling, and thrilling life of Louisiana's alligator hunters. Willie joined the show in its very first season, alongside his father. Audiences were immediately drawn to him, not for flamboyance or dramatic flair, but for his calm, competent, and authentic presence. Fans could see the dedication, respect for tradition, and deep family values that he embodied. Each season, Willie took on more responsibilities, sometimes hunting solo, sometimes guiding younger family members, and always maintaining the integrity of the craft that had been passed down to him. Over time, he became more than a cast member. He became the heart of the show. His steady demeanor contrasted with the chaotic energy that often surrounded reality television, offering viewers a glimpse of what real determination and respect for the swamp look like. Fans admired him not just for his skill with gators, but for the way he treated his family, honored his heritage, and stayed true to himself despite the pressures of fame. His presence reminded viewers that some heroes do not need to shout. They lead quietly, through action and example, and Willie was a perfect embodiment of that principle. One of the most emotional moments in the series came when his son, nicknamed Little Willie, joined him on the show. Watching father and son work together, navigate the swamp, and celebrate their successes was a full-circle moment for many fans. It echoed the early days when Willie first learned from his own father, showing the continuity of family legacy and the passage of knowledge from one generation to the next. By mentoring his son, Willie ensured that the Edwards family name and traditions would remain alive on national television, even as he began to step back from the spotlight. Though Willie's appearances on the show decreased in later seasons, his influence remained. Little Willie carried forward the family tradition, partnering with other longtime hunters and proving that the lessons passed down through generations were far from forgotten. Meanwhile, Willie himself continued to hunt, mentor, and live a life deeply connected to the swamp, reminding fans that even behind the scenes, the Edwards family legacy was thriving. Social media posts occasionally gave glimpses of this life, photos of successful hunts, moments shared with his sons, and the quiet pride of a father watching his children follow in his footsteps. Through all the hardships, heartbreaks, and rumors, Willie's story is one of endurance. He has faced losses that no one should have to endure: the absence of a beloved daughter, the sudden passing of a brother, and the weight of public scrutiny. Yet he continues to move forward, guided by family, tradition, and an unshakable bond with the land that raised him. The swamp itself, with its unpredictable waters and hidden dangers, mirrors the challenges of his life. Beautiful, complex, and full of lessons for those willing to pay attention. Even though he may not always appear on the show, Willie's presence is felt through the Edwards family legacy, the skills passed down to his children, and the respect he has earned from fans and fellow hunters alike. His story is a reminder that true strength is not measured by appearances or accolades, but by the ability to persevere in the face of adversity, to honor the memory of loved ones, and to continue living with courage and integrity. For viewers, Willie Edwards represents more than a reality television star. He represents resilience, dedication, and the quiet heroism of someone who faces life's harshest trials with dignity. The gators he catches, the lessons he teaches, and the family traditions he preserves are all part of a larger narrative, a story of survival, love, and enduring strength. The tragedies he endured shaped him, but they did not define him. Instead, they forged a man capable of showing love, teaching wisdom, and inspiring others, all while carrying the memories of those he has lost. As seasons come and go, fans continue to hope for glimpses of Willie on Swamp People. Yet even if he never returns to the cameras, his influence remains. His story, his family, and the traditions he has nurtured will continue to resonate. Every sunrise over the Louisiana swamp, every quiet moment of reflection, and every hunt completed with skill and care serves as a living tribute to his resilience and the legacy of his family. The swamp remembers him, and through his children, that legacy will live on for generations. In the end, the heartbreaks and challenges that Willie Edwards has faced serve to highlight his humanity. Behind the calm exterior, the steady hands, and the focused eyes, there is a man who has experienced the depths of sorrow, yet continues to lead, love, and survive. His journey is a testament to what it means to be strong when life demands more than you think you can give. It's a reminder that true courage is often quiet, unwavering, and deeply rooted in love. Willie Edwards' life shows us that even in the face of devastating loss, it's possible to find purpose, carry on traditions, and honor the ones we have lost. Whether on the water, with family, or in the quiet moments alone, he carries the spirit of those who came before him and inspires those who come after. His story is far more than a tale of hunting. It is a story of enduring love, unspoken grief, and the unwavering strength of a man shaped by both the swamp and the heart. So while fans may remember Willie for the gators he caught or the hunts they witnessed on television, the true measure of his life is in the legacy he leaves behind, in his children, his family values, and the lessons he has imparted. Every action, every decision, and every quiet moment reflects a man who has faced tragedy and emerged not just intact, but stronger, wiser, and profoundly human.